Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the content on the channel, and make sure to check me out on Twitch. All right, let's begin. Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. So today we are doing a champion highlight on one of my very favorite champions, Venom the Duck. Looking at how much damage he can push out, how he is utilized, his synergies, weaknesses, and hopefully just seeing how far we can go with him. Let's begin. Alright, so in talking about Venom the Duck, how important is it that he is awakened? So I do not have a 6-star at this moment that is awakened, but by looking at my 4-star, we can see that there is some minor increases in him having his awakened ability. So it is nice, but is definitely not going to take away from the overall damage that he can put out. Although it is a pretty helpful ability, it's not going to nerf him in any significant way to where he would not be playable. So if we look here, the aberration effect, which is his total charge at normally 5, I guess you could say 5% at a time, will be building up throughout the match, and once it reaches 100% or just 100 charges, he will then get a random ability. Now, which ability or buff is added is mostly randomized, although through the synergies, which we will talk about next, this can be modified up slightly. So jumping right into it though, you would be able to get 8%. This is at 20 of 100. So it looks like he would begin with slightly bigger charge. His special one, which will also charge the aberration meter, the 1 to 100 meter from the special one, would also get a bonus from it. Toxic armor, which is from the special 2, would gain roughly a 50% duration, which is super nice actually. It would allow him to do a lot more damage with those toxic armor buffs. And then the special 3 really doesn't gain that much either. It would just mean that you would get a 15%. Now, this can scale a little bit, and based on if your champion is a 3, 4, 5, or 6-star champion, this will be a little bit different, and the numbers will vary slightly. For more information on that, which will be in a link below, you can visit the Aunt May website, and you can actually get to the specific SIG level on that. So as far as signature ability, it's pretty nice, but definitely not necessary. The next part that we can look at is just how the basic operation of Venom the Duck is utilized. So you're going to start typically at 0%, as we stated before, and it's going to jump up in 5% increments over a second or two. When it does hit that 100% mark, you're going to get one of a few, I believe it's 6. Yes, one of 6 buffs. And you're going to be able to bank those buffs for future fights up to 10. Not necessarily different, I was going to say different. You can actually stack the buffs, but you can bank these buffs for that fight and the future fights by either performing a heavy attack and making contact, or by doing a special 1 or 2. And if you do end up stacking multiple buffs, it is definitely possible. In fact, it can even be possible at the start of a match if you already have buffs from a previous match, by heavy attacking or using another special. The ones that I normally go through, and this can change based on like the individual, but I like getting as many Fury and Power Rate, along with a couple regenerations. In fact, I've stacked regeneration up to almost max before, and you will heal pretty close to 100% by having the majority of regen buffs. So it's kind of fun to play around with, and there is a little bit of a strategy involved in this, in that you could restart a mission, or not an alliance war, not an alliance quest, but a story quest, event quest, anything like that, the first match kind of over and over again to get what you kind of want or need. Sometimes you're just not going to get what you want. And I would say that's probably one of the only real detriments, is that first match or the first two matches, if you don't get what you need, it can kind of be fighting uphill a little bit. So that's kind of his first section really there, is baiting out the enemy so that you can get the aberration charges up. It's just gonna go over time, and once you get a couple of the buffs you want, you're kind of golden. You can kind of just keep banking the same ones that you want, although there is a cap, and it's going to be 3 per match. The bleeds. So a lot of the detriment that you'll get on bleeding champions is that if you face a robot or an immunity champion, you're kind of fighting uphill, and it's not going to be very fun. It's not ideal. There is a way around this, though, when it comes to Venom the Duck. If he cannot make them bleed, he will then instead make them degenerate. Now, the degenerate isn't as powerful as you see here. The critical chance, 55% chance to make them bleed, but if they are immune to the bleed, a passive degeneration would be inflicted instead, but it's only a 25% difference, and in the grand scheme of things, that's amazing, because it means essentially whatever the case is, you're going to be dealing damage. They're going to get that debuff here. Now, again, as he fights more champions, he's going to get stronger. So hopefully we're going to be able to bank the correct buffs. But if not, again, we can always restart. So even though it's a little frustrating sometimes, it's just something we can redo. So the rotation here normally would be backing off and maybe playing a little defensively. I actually find myself almost killing the enemy. So right now we just banked our first one. It went away, but it will come back if we do a special 3. And we just got power gain. So now we have 2 banked. Hopefully we can get a regen for taking these fights. I think that's what we're going to go for, is a regen. And if I would have been doing special 1s between buffs, that also could increase the speed. There it is. Oh no! I actually was sweating there a little bit, like we might lose it. Okay, so now we can reactivate the buffs. We can't absorb any more, but we've got what we need. Oh, I looked away. Oh my gosh, that did nothing. Alright, let's really start going at it. Hopefully we can start dealing... Oh no! We finally got hit! We'll go for special 2s now. I gotta say, his special 3, though, is one of my favorites. So if you look over on him, it looks like he has an armor up buff, but that's actually the opposite. It helps us deal extra damage. Ah, if I wouldn't have got hit that one time. But alright, we got him down. And that's a lot of hits. 372 hits. But again, we're not using any specials. We were being super stingy about what specific buffs we were wanting. So that's something very important. And as with most champions that require those charges, there is a little bit of ramp up necessary before you get to their full potential. So what we're going to be doing on the next one is, I kind of just want to stick with the buffs that we have. And so let's see where this takes us. We shouldn't need any items. There we go. Fingers crossed. My fingers didn't want to work apparently. But all right, yeah. Let's just start keeping up with it. We're starting off strong, I can see. Alright, so now we have them banked. We have our 3. And by doing a special 3, we can activate all 6 of them then. So I think that's where we're going to go with. Regen some health. Get that extra damage. Oh gosh! Oh no! I can feel that special a mile away. I just absolutely love this special. It's not one of the hardest hitting specials, but it is one of the most satisfying ones. 350 hits. Man. Man. Yeah, right there. Alright, so let's back out of this. And we're going to try one more test on something that may be a little bit lower in PI, but also a different style of Venom the Duck. Because he comes in several different flavors here. Alright, and for the final test, we are going to be pitting our 4-star Venom the Duck versus Maestro, and see how quickly we can take him out, or at least in as few hits as possible. One thing I would say to keep in mind though is that even with Venom the Duck having Fury buffs, he's much more considered a tank to me than he is DPS. But in saying that, let's just try it out. So you can see that those bleeds are actually working pretty well. I'm going to wait for him to do a special too. And then finish it off with a... hopefully... okay. So, I know that wasn't 3 or 4 times the power level, but just seeing how you can stack the Furies with it being such a diversity in power level is still really nice to see. Alright guys, hopefully you liked what you saw today. If there is something that I could be putting towards him or anything that I forgot, let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate the views, any comments, concerns, or anything else, let us know below. And hopefully we have you join the stream on Twitch. But have a wonderful evening, and good luck on the crystals.